In this nitty-gritty basics Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at I Love Maj. We're going to be probably doing a couple of Charleston modeling exercises, and then we'll play with robots. The topic for today is critical thinking. So we're going to focus on that during the exercises and then while we play. So I'll do gameplay with commentary. I want to say thank you so much for watching my videos, for sharing about MAHJLIFE. Also, we have a new channel member, Joyce. Welcome. Thank you for joining as a channel member. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the support of all my viewers and members. I love that little guy. We need to name him. I need to put the names that I've gotten, and we'll do a poll at a Simply Social Let's Play live stream, maybe this coming Friday. So if you want to be part of that poll, join us for the Let's Play live stream on Friday night, and then I'll make the final decision. I have veto power because it's my YouTube channel, but you're a part of it. I can't do what I do without you. So I'm looking for your input. If you have any ideas on what we can name that little white squirrel, the furry woodland creature, as Kathleen says, I would appreciate the input. Also, channel moderators, thank you for helping monitor chat today. I think that does it for all the housekeeping, I suppose you could say, or the preliminaries. So let's get into Mahjong now. I'm going to present. Ooh, I'm not quite there yet. All right. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, is it good to order the primer? Yes, it's ready. I had a little snafu, well, mistake. Let's just say what it is. I accidentally uploaded the wrong manuscript to the primer. Or really, the way that the dashboard is set up, it looks the same because the book covers are about the same. And I mistakenly uploaded the manuscript for the workbook that's going with the next book, which is on skills and strategies. And so the primer that's up on Amazon right now had workbook contents in it and not the actual fundamentals of the game. So there have been like, I guess 30 days worth of sales have been through a misprint. So I'm trying to get a hold of anyone who bought my book between February 10th and yesterday. If you bought the book within, let's see, I think they have, I don't know what their turnaround time is, but if you bought the book recently, you should be able to get a refund. But the new, or the fix has been uploaded and it's ready to buy. So if anyone wants to purchase the primer, it's up on Amazon. There are links for it on my website. If you go to, let's see, in the store and then books, and then you'll see the primers, because I have the next one that is a work in progress. I'm hoping to publish by the end of this month, but it might not be until April. It just depends. Right now, I'm working on finalizing the example hands, and then I'm going to do a read through. I have a little bit more to do on transitions. And so it's a work in progress still, but I'm hoping I'll be able to get it done by the end of the month. I may need to push it to April. I think on the website I have an anticipated release for summer, but I'm hoping it'll be out before the card. I would like it to be out before the card, really. So anyhow, we'll see. Thank you for asking, Beverly. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I need to get the let's see here, a presentation. I think it's a pretty short presentation. And so let me just pull that up too. Sorry that I'm a little bit frazzled because my son has my car and he finally bought a truck. So I get my car back. So we've been going through that whole process of how are we going to do the transfer and all that kind of stuff, logistics. So I'm a little bit frazzled because that all happened right before I was supposed to go live. So not very good timing there. Okay, so let's see. Here it is. Let's see. Critical thinking. I think, is this Intel? I think I might have these backwards here. Hold on one second. Matrix. So sorry. I'll put a stamp. Well, it's 5 after. It's not too bad. Because I know that this is not Mahjong yet. Okay, let me see. So critical thinking and then intel gathering. So critical thinking is the one we're looking for now. And for some reason, I have a bonus on there. So I don't know what that's about. I can't remember. All right, this is a good one. So let me get this to the right place, and then I'll share my screen. As soon as my computer catches up with me. All right, here we go. Let's see here. This is going to be a good one, I think, because I keep getting on Facebook and I see it on multiple groups. And then, of course, I get emails all the time with people having trouble picking a hand. So if anyone is new, I think you're going to really like this because I think that the way it's presented is very helpful. So you'll have to let me know what you think. So we're going to talk about critical thinking, and I'm going to give you 3 tactics to simplify Charleston decision making. And apparently there's a bonus. I don't remember the bonus. Actually, I think I have a vague recollection of the bonus. So let me get started and we'll find out together. So let's see, here we go. So the first thing is, if you can grasp or embrace, let's use the word embrace. If you can embrace the purpose of the Charleston, it will make this process much easier. The whole purpose of the Charleston is to expedite. When you get those dealt tiles, they're random. Sometimes you might actually see a hand in there. But many times you're going to have just random tiles that look like they don't work together. So this whole purpose of the Charleston, it's a pre-game activity to help you expedite the process of improving the dealt tiles to something that you can use when the game actually begins, when East discards their first tile. So the Charleston is a pre-game hand development accelerator. That's what I like to call it. Pre-game hand development accelerator. So by making good decisions, exchanging up to 21 tiles in 7 passes, you can transform that randomly dealt hand into something usable. That's the goal. So there are 4 stages in hand development: target, gather, build, defend. You're going to target the strength of the hand. We're going to talk about each one of these. Then you're going to gather tiles to support the strength of the hand. Then you're going to build those blocks up, because American Mah Jongg is a game of multiples. You need pair pung kong of some shape and pattern. Every hand on the card uses pairs, and then some pungs and kongs, and even quints if you happen to have jokers. And the process that you use is critical thinking. You analyze the situation, you identify alternatives, you consider your choices, and then you decide. That is the definition of critical thinking. And so we're going to look into each one of these, and I'm going to give you those 3 tactics that can help simplify the process. So the first tactic is to optimize. Optimizing is when you use or target pungs, kongs, pairs, whatever shape you have, pair pung kong. And you're going to gather tiles to support the multiples. So target the multiples. That would be optimizing. So here you see an example hand, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in dots with pair 3, 5. Then we have a pair of 1 bams, 9 bam, and a 3 crack, white dragon, and a north. So you just target the multiple. Whatever hand we play will be a 1, 3, 5. Now we could maybe do 2 through 5 or 3 through 6. So I would probably keep the 6 and maybe even the 3 crack. But I would target the multiples. That's the first thing that you want to look for. When you get your dealt hand, ask yourself, do I have multiples? And the reason I use the word multiple is because sometimes you might have a pung, not just a pair. Sometimes you even might have a Kong. So instead of saying pair pung Kong, I just call it multiples. So in this case, we'd probably play a little odd hand or maybe 2 through 6 of some kind. And that's another thing that you'll hear me say a lot is of some kind, air quotes, because you really don't have to pick a hand till you run out of discards. Just know that you're gathering tiles for whatever category uses the strength of your hand. So target multiples to optimize, gather supporting tiles that can use those multiples, and play a category that will use most of your tiles. And that leads us to the next tactic. Maximize. This is when you're using most of your tiles. Hold on. So if sometimes in your dealt hand, you don't have multiples, you want to look for the predominant pattern. And that is going to be one of the categories on the card. So if you look at this particular dealt hand, we have a lot of 3, 6, 9. That would be maximizing. We don't have a multiple yet, so we can't optimize yet, but we can maximize. This would be using most of your tiles. So 3, 6, 9, there's 7, 9 tiles that could potentially be used. Now there is some 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, or 1. You could even maybe do little odds, but there are fewer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for little odds. And then 2, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5, 6, there's only 4 tiles. Maybe the 2 with a flower and the white dragon. So let's say 6 tiles that you could maybe use, 6 or 7. But by far, 3, 6, 9 is the best category to choose in this case because it uses most of your tiles. And the whole reason that you want to do that is to optimize your potential to get a multiple. If you have most of your tiles held for a category during the Charleston, you should develop a multiple because you're maximizing that potential. So that is why this is such a great tactic. Maximize by looking at your tiles and then pick a category that uses most of your tiles. That's maximize. Now, when a multiple forms, you want to reassess, target the multiple, and then gather the supporting tiles that can be used with that multiple, and then play a category that will use most of your tiles. Sometimes it could change, and sometimes it won't. So for example, on this particular hand, let's say that we get a 1 bam. A 1 bam would totally turn this upside down from 3, 6, 9 to probably 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 3, 5. So if you get a multiple, just reassess completely. Target the multiple because that is the top tactic because of the design of the game. The game is a game of multiples for American Mah Jongg, pair pung kong. So if you start by targeting the multiple, you're going to simplify your decision making. Then pick a category that uses most of your tiles. So it would be optimizing and maximizing. So those are the top 2 there. And I just want to share really quick why that this whole concept works. It's because of, again, the design of the American Mah Jongg game. And these numbers, this is the 2023 analytics on the card. And the numbers are going to be similar from year to year. I've seen that they're just a few points off here and there, but for the most part, it's fairly similar. But we're going to have a new card in like 30 days, or really less than that, 3 weeks. So these numbers are going to be changing based on the new card. So for this particular card, 84% of the hands on the card use big multiples. And a big multiple would be Pong Kong. And then the pairs are in 61% of the hands. So together, that is like 44% of, I'm sorry, not four, wait, oh, no, never mind. I'm thinking 44%. That's with flowers. Sorry, my head got mixed up. So basically the point is that you want to target multiples. That's why it's such a powerful tactic, because of these statistics. Can't argue with statistics. Also, while you're passing during the Charleston, try to pass defensively, because you don't want to be giving your opponents the opportunity to develop their hand. You want to try to mitigate the risk as much as you can in each of your passes. If you think about it, a pass, 3 tiles, that is, it equates to 3 picks from the wall. That's why this is a hand development accelerator, because you're getting 3 tiles up to 7 times. And if you consider those 3 separate picks from the wall, you're getting them all at once. And by seeing all those three tiles at one time, many times you can see a trend developing, and that's where the power is with the Charleston. You leverage those passes following trends, and you leverage the strength of the hand as it develops. Now, when you're passing, try not to pass one suit. And try not to even think about one suit in your own hands. Sometimes that can be a little distracting. And so can mixed suits. You want to just gather every tile that you can for any given category. And then when you run out of discards, decide which one of these you're going to be focused on, one suit or mixed suits. So that would be developing your hand. But also, you want to make sure that you're passing defensively. So try not to pass one suit. Mix it up a little bit. Try not to pass like numbers. In my opinion, that's almost as risky as passing a pair. Also, try not to pass flowers, because they're in 44%. There's the statistic. So 44% of the tiles or the hands on the card use flowers. So this is why it's not a good idea to pass flowers. So just try to pass defensively. All right, are we ready for the third tactic? Let me just double check on everything. Okay, we're ready to keep going. All right, third tactic, streamline. Streamlining is when you consider playing consecutive run. It is the most flexible category on the card, and it's got a lot of options. So here you see a hand with a lot of 3, 4, 5. We don't have a multiple yet, but we have like numbers with 3s, like numbers with 4s, like numbers with 5s, all together 3, 4, 5. All kinds of 3, 4, 5. So by focusing on consecutive run, you're going to streamline. And the reason it's called streamlining is because it's extremely flexible. You can go up or down a range of up to 9 numbers. So even though we have 3, 4, 5 in here, if we get a 2, we can do 2, 3, 4. Or if we get a 6, we can do 4, 5, 6. So you can see that there's that flexibility to go up and down that range of 9 numbers. And then you have, of course, 3 suits with those numbers. It's a very powerful category, and that's why it is a top tactic. With consecutive run, you can see that there are 11 hands in the category. That's 16%. But there are consecutive runs in other categories too. So your options are not just in that one category. They're in other categories on the card. Winds and Dragons has a couple. We have even in singles and pairs, there are 2 in the year. This is 2023. Those are consecutive numbers. Also, Addition has a couple of consecutives in there, or the first one, I think. The first hand is consecutive, 1, 2. And then the Quince has 2 consecutives as well. So just know that consecutive run is very powerful, and there are a lot of options. All right, here's the power play. Stack them. Optimize, maximize, and streamline. That would be using all 3 tactics for any given hand. And you've got a power play and a very strong potential to start the game as a contender or front runner, which we'll talk about when we probably get to gameplay with commentary. So just stack these. If you can only use one of them until a multiple forms, for example, maximize if you don't have multiples. Use most of your tiles. Then when you get a multiple, you're going to optimize by targeting the multiple. If you can maximize, that would be a little mini stack. If you can even streamline by playing consecutive run, then you've got all 3 tactics for a power play and a very strong potential to have a transformation, big transformation before East discards that first tile. All right, now let's see. I think we're going to go to the bonus right here. But wait, there's more. You could have what I'm going to call a fully loaded power play with hands of slight resistance. This is when and then also there's the hands of least resistance for loaded and fully loaded power play. So if you can, on top of optimizing, maximizing, and streamlining, play a hand of least resistance or a hand of slight resistance, you'll have even more power behind you because you're playing hands that can use any number of jokers. These 2 types of hands are relatively indestructible. So let me share, before we get to some gameplay with commentary, how you can measure results. And this is not only good to kind of assess your potential to win, but also manage your expectations. And it can also help you track your performance from game to game. If you have more than 4 discards after the Charleston, you're likely going to be an underdog for that game. You want to take a low risk approach until you have a hand with no gaps and few weaknesses. If you have 4 discards, you're likely a contender. And that, with that many discards, just 4 discards, and you know what hand you're playing, you can take a moderate risk. So for example, if someone discards a tile that you can call, you know what hand you're playing, you've got no gaps, you can use jokers to help you get a Kong, let's say, and you may risk jokers, but that's okay because you're a contender. Once you discard, you'll only have maybe three discards thereafter. So 1 or 2 good picks and you could be at a ready position. So you can take more risks. It's okay to take risks if you are far along in your hand development after the Charleston. If you have less than 4 discards, you're likely a front runner for that game, which means that you can expedite your hand development regardless of risk. So let's just look at a couple quick examples. This first one, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in cracks, pair 3, pair 5, pair 7, pung 9. We have a flower, west, 4 and 3, 4.3 band. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 multiples. So we're going to clearly play an odd hand, probably the first odd hand in 1 suit. And that would leave us with 5 discards. Because we have an extra 9 there, we only need a pair. Now, if we had a red dragon, I probably would play that 4th hand down on the right, but because that's a gap, I wouldn't even consider it. I would focus on what we have and let that be the focus. Now, if we draw a red dragon before the 3 bam and 4 dot go out, you could maybe change, but that's an if. You don't want to make your decisions based on if. We have known information, odds 1-1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in 1 suit, no gaps, go for that hand. So here we would have 5 discards. That would make us an underdog for this one. And it would be ideal to get the pair in hand, and then you can start to pung and hopefully get something for the 5 crack to help build that up. So we would start by, let's say, discarding the west, then the 4 or 3, and then the 4. And then that way it'll give us a little time to see if maybe that red dragon would come in. If it didn't, Then next, probably the flower would go, and then the 9 crack. And hopefully we'll have been developing the first odd hand along the way. All right, let's see. Next, we have another example here. News with the Punga 7, 7, 8, 9, and dots. 9 crack. So here's this Punga 7 bams. We have an east pair, south pung. That would match the Winds and Dragons hand that's concealed. And we have 4 discards. We have an extra east, a 7 dot, 9 dot, 9 crack. So those are discards 4. That makes us a contender for this hand. Now, this particular hand is concealed. So we're probably on the back side of that contender group because we can't call for any tiles. We're going to have to draw really well. We need a north and then an 8 dot in here. And then, of course, if we get jokers, all the better. But I still say that we would be a contender with only 4 discards. Here's another example of like numbers. We have lots of pairs in here. Pair flower, pairs of 1s. And that leaves us with 2 discards. We could maybe play the dragon hand, single dragons matching the 1s. This would make us a front runner for this particular game. 2 discards. That's fantastic. Now, here's another example that might come up. If you know about joker bait, which hopefully we'll have an opportunity to talk about. This would be consecutive run 2-2. We have a pair of 2s, pair 3, pair 4 in cracks. Then we have a 1-2 dot paired up. So we could play 1-2 dot 3-4 crack. We have 7 dot 5 bam green dragon, but we have a pair of 2 cracks over here. Those 2 cracks would be joker bait. Basically, what you do in the middle of the game is you discard 1, and hopefully one of your opponents will claim it, make an exposure with a joker, and then on your next turn, you do the exchange. In a nutshell, that is how joker bait works. And that term, by the way, was coined by Tom Sloper of Sloperama. And it's a hit or miss strategy, but it is a lot of fun when it works. Feels really good getting a joker that way. But there's timing involved with that particular strategy. As a matter of fact, you don't want to hold on to a pair during the Charleston. You want to try to use all the tiles that you can to help you pass defensively. You don't want to be hindered by holding on to a pair that you don't need if it's going to make you pass, give a risky pass. I would rather have you break that multiple up and then maybe later, once the game starts with each discard, develop a pair that you don't need that you can use as joker bait, because that pair that we don't need during the Charleston is going to do us no good at all. You've got to get that pair all the way to about 60 tiles remaining. That's a long way to go. And you want to try to pass defensively. So for example, if we pass a 7.5 bam green, then we're left with a pair we don't need. What happens if we get all keepers? Then we're going to have to pass a pair. You don't want to do that during the Charleston if you can at all help it. So try not to be focused on joker bait during the Charleston. I just want to be clear about that because it is an encumbrance. And you do not want to be encumbered when you do the Charleston. You want to focus on your hand development, let that be the top priority, and then mitigate risk as you pass to your opponents. Okay, so now we would be a front runner on this one. And also, I just want to leave you with this quote: the smarter you play, the luckier you will be. And that is a quote by Mark Pilarski, who is a gaming aficionado. I guess he's a casino columnist. And that's where this quote came from. I think it's fantastic. I love it. All right, so now we're going to play Mahjong, gameplay with commentary. Are you all ready? I'm going to scroll down and we're going to, so this whole topic is critical thinking. So we're going to focus on the 3 tactics and the power play if we can. So the tactics are optimize, maximize, and streamline. And then, of course, we have those opportunities to have a fully loaded or loaded power play. And we'll talk through all that with a couple of Charleston exercises. So I'm going to go ahead and start. There are some other exercises at I Love Maj that are really helpful. So I hope that you try this out. Yeah. And when you sign up, you can get an extra week in your trial if you use MAHJLIFE. And I am an affiliate there, so I will get a small commission if you decide to keep on with a subscription at I Love Maj. All right, guess what we have here? We have no multiples. So that would mean we need to look for the predominant pattern. So when you see these tiles, you might think to yourself, oh no, I have nothing to work with, but that is not true. We have all kinds of things we could do here. So we have a joker, a flower, northwest, a white dragon. Then we have 3, 5, 6 in BAMs, 1, 5, 6 in cracks, 3, 8, 9 in dots. So we could, when I first saw this, I thought immediately little odds. So let's just pull little odds over so you can see what it would look like. If we played little odds, we hold all the 1, 3, 5 right there. 1, 3, 5. We might even be able to use the flower and the white dragon. So we have 1, 5 in cracks, 3, 5 in BAMs, a 3 dot flower, and a white dragon. So maybe we could play little odds. That's one way we could do it. We would have 6 discards. So let's look at another thing though, because we do have some potential to streamline. We have 5, 6, 2 ways. 5, 6, 5, 6. Really, the dragons in consecutive run are corresponding, so we can't use the dragon. 5, 6, and that's it. So little odds would maximize our potential. So I would hold the 3, the 1, and this 3 dot, and we have enough tiles left over to hold both options. So we could either do 5, 6 consecutive run of some kind, or we could do little odds, 1, 3, 5. And 2 of these tiles are shared between the 2. 3, 6, 9. Let's just pull 3, 6, 9. So if we did, we could even keep the 9. We could do 3, 6, 9. There'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles for little odds, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for 5, 6. So that leaves us with tiles we could pass, but look what we'd be passing. I would mitigate this risk. I would not pass a white dragon, and I would not pass 2 wins. 2 wins is almost like passing like numbers. I wouldn't pass that. So we need to let something go. And I think what I would do here, because 5, 6 is consecutive and it's powerful, I would keep 5, 6 as opposed to 3, 6, 9. Even though there is some 3, 6, 9 in there, I would let it go. But then look here, we have a 9 dot with an 8 dot. That is just as risky as passing a white dragon with the 8, or even 2 wins. There's not much mitigation going on there. So maybe a different tile would be better. If we have 3, 5, I wouldn't let the 1 go, because then that would leave a gap for a little odd potential. So we're in between deciding, do we play little odds, 5, 6 consecutive run, or 3, 6, 9? Here's the thing about 3, 6, 9. It is inflexible. The numbers are, there's only 3 numbers, as opposed to 4 numbers in 2, 4, 6, 8, 5 numbers in odds, and then we have 9 numbers we can work with in consecutive run. So with 3, 6, 9, you have 3 specific numbers, and they're divided by, they're spaced out. There are 2 numbers in between each. So there's just very little flexibility there. Therefore, I would probably pass the 9 and risk that. I would risk passing 8, 9 and let go of 3, 6, 9. If I'm between 3, 6, 9 and 2 other categories, I would let 3, 6, 9 go because of its inflexibility. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we get. So we have a 5. And guess what? We have multiples now. 5 crack pair and a west. So you stop. You stop the analysis. And this is one reason why you don't go to the hand level. You just stay at the category level, because with one pass, the whole thing can change. So why spin your wheels in an analysis that's going to change in the next second anyway? So we're going to reassess completely. Whatever we play, we're going to use the pair of fives, maybe even the West. Probably not, though. Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. That was weird. Okay, so with a 5-crack pair, I would definitely keep consecutive run, because that is a powerhouse, basically. And we have in here a 7. So 5, 6, 7 would be the predominant pattern. We do have still some little odds in here, but the 1 doesn't really mesh or blend well with the 3s and the 5. So I would let that go. I would let the 1 go. I would let the dragon go. And then I would let one of the 3s go. So probably the 3 bam. 3 bam. That way we're not passing a corresponding number tile. And I would let that white dragon go, because we need to optimize our potential to get keepers for 5, 6, 7 of some kind. And it would be fabulous to get an East, because then we could maybe play that second hand down on the right under wins. Oh, you're welcome, Wes. Thank you. Okay, we have another West, and we picked up another multiple with the 7. So now that we have 5, 6, 7 in cracks, we really don't need the 5, 6 in bands, because with a 5, 6, 7, there's no way to use the 5, 6. We also have a 9 here. We could maybe do 5 through 9 if we get an 8. But you don't want to work on maybe. You don't want to build around maybe if you can at all help it. And we can help it. So we still have potential for a 5, 6, 7 with East and West, but we have a gap. No East. Anytime you have a gap, like in this case, second hand down under wins, East and West with a run, we could play 5, 6, 7 in cracks, and then East, West pungs, but we have no East. We do have a joker, but technically there's a gap. There's no East. So that you should downgrade that as an option. So the better choice would be to play 5, 6, 7 Kongs, which would be the 5th hand down on the left. There's no gaps for that. So we have a choice to make. Do we pass 3, 5, 6? 5, 6 is a bit risky. And I wouldn't pass a flower. We could maybe make that a little bit better by keeping the 6 and passing the 9, since we have no 8 crack. That 9 crack is not helpful. Although there's some 5, 7, 9 in here, we wouldn't be able to use the West. I would just risk passing the 6 and optimize my potential to continue to develop a couple of hands. So we have the 5th hand or 5th hand down under consecutive run. If we get, let's say, a red dragon, that would be an if. So you don't want to make decisions on if, but it is there. There's some potential there. 4th hand down on the right. Let's just see. I'm kind of hoping we get an East. We got a North and an 8. The 8 is the wrong suit. It is in our range, but it's the wrong suit. I would keep going. Let's see. We have North and West. North and West. We could maybe try to play the 5th hand down under wins, but there's 2 gaps. No East and no South. So I would not be distracted by that. I would let the North go. We finally got the East and the 8. Oh my goodness. Now look at that. Look at that. We got everything we wanted and we're going across. So we have to make a choice. We could play East and West with a run, or we could play 5 through 9. This would be the first hand under consecutive run, or we could play East and West with a run. We could even play the 5th hand down. We have a gap though, no South. So that means we're going to let the wins go. And I would pass 2 wins in this case, because we have a couple of hands with no gaps. Wait, We want to keep that east-west. We're at a decision point, actually. So we could play east and west with 5, 6, 7. And that would mean we'd let the 8 and 9 crack go. We have a hand here with no gaps and 3 multiples, including a pung. So that's what I would pick. No gaps. 1 weakness right here with the, well, really 2 weaknesses, because we need to be able to pung that east and we need to Kong the 7. So, and then we need a pair of 6 cracks. So we do have a couple of weaknesses here, but we're only in the middle of the Charleston right now. So let's see what we get. A flower. Wow, that kind of changes things here. We could do 5, 6, 7 with a pair of flowers. I would not pass a flower. And I think I would want to keep the east-west. Maybe we could use the flower for joker bait. We're on last right. So this would be an okay time to think about joker bait. Flowers are not ideal for joker bait though, because there are 8 of them. And like more times than not, an opponent will get the exchange before you. Okay, we ended up with a south and a 7. I'd pass 2. And we have a couple of hands with no gaps and 2 discards. So even if, let's say, we play this forward, I would say we would be a contender because we have 2 discards with joker bait and a hand with no gaps. Does anybody have any questions? If we played 5, 6, 7 with flowers, we would have 3 discards with joker bait, but a pung does not make good joker bait, because what that's going to mean is that your opponent would need lots of jokers in order to claim a discard for something that we have most of. So typically a pung is not good joker bait. It's the pair, because then that means that your opponent could potentially have 2 and a joker, or maybe 1 and a couple of jokers. Then they would make the exposure that way. So what I would do if this were my hand, I would play east and west with a run and discard north first, then the 9 crack, and then hold the joker or the flowers to hopefully get a joker later in the game. Okay, does anybody have any questions about this particular result? And we'll do this one more time. So in this case, we did a power play, just a regular power play, because we targeted actually, let's see, we started out maximizing, then we reassessed because we developed a multiple. So then we optimized, maximized, and we played something with consecutive run, which is streamlining. So this was a power play, and it ended up with a really good result. Let's just do this again, and we're going to see if we can get just a different result, just for comparison. So in this case, we have a pair of 9s. Train your mind, train your eye to target the multiple. So when you first look at your dealt hand, if you see a multiple, start there. And that simplifies the whole process. So whatever we do, we're going to use the 9 crack. So then we'll look at the rest of our tiles. And I see a 9 and I see 6s. So 3, 6, 9, Wes. Do you like this category, Wes? I think I've heard you talk about 3, 6, 9 before. So here we have 3, 6, 9, and those would leverage the pair of 9s. And we would have, let's see, you don't like that category? I don't either, actually. It's very inflexible. Okay, so for 3, 6, 9, we're not maximized at all. Look how many discards we have. We're keeping 6 tiles, and right now we have, let's see, 7 discards. So what I would probably do is keep the 5 to see if maybe big odds would come in, because we could use a 5 with a 9 if we get 7s. And then I use that word if. That would be a plan B if it even comes to fruition at all. We just don't even know. We've got 3, 6, 9. We've got options in there. We wouldn't even look at the hand level. You just think category level right now. The only time you go to the hand level during the Charleston is when you run out of discards. And if you can see here, we've got lots of discards to work with. So we don't even need to think about what hand we're playing. It doesn't matter because it could change on a dime, or in this case, in a pass. So let's pass a wind, and then let's pass a 1 and one of the 4s. And that way we're breaking out the like numbers into different passes. So we have West 1 4 for the first pass. Let's say we get all keepers. We'll have a good next pass right here. South 4 2. That's not too bad. All right, so here we go. We got 2 keepers, and guess what? We have 2 multiples in here. So we reassess completely. In this case, the multiples are 3s and 6s. So we're still in the same category, but now we're optimized. We're optimized because we're targeting the multiple. So now we got the 9 bam, we have a 6 and more 9s. 3, 6, 9. We actually have a hand in here with no gaps. And that would be the first hand under 3, 6, 9. We really don't have to pick a hand though, because we've got discards. At this point, we're maximized. We're optimized and we're maximized. And since it's 3, 6, 9, we can't streamline. So we're using 2 tactics right now. So let's pass the 8 with a, let's say the 5. 8, 5 with south. No keepers, and that's fine. Let's break up that 2 with a 1. Let's see here. Maybe we could do a 2 dot with a, oh, it's kind of 6 1/2 dozen the other here. 2, 3, 1. Let's do 4 1. I was just thinking if we get a 4 dot, we might be able to do 2, 3, 4, but probably not. I don't want to be stuck with two 2s. So I would do that instead. Okay, we have a 7. So we have 3, 6, 6, 7, 9. I would hold that 7. Probably we're not going to be able to use it, but we've got discards anyway, so we can keep it for a minute. Okay, now there's a 5. 5, 5, 6, 7, 9. We have a west, a 2. So I would let something go. We have a hand in here with no gaps. 5 or 3, 6 dot, 6 crack, 9 crack. So probably what I would do here, 3. We also have 3, 6, 9, 9. Let's see. No. That's I don't know why I keep thinking that is on the card. That was on last year's card. So never mind. I don't know why my head keeps wanting to go there. So let's let the 5 crack go. No keepers. So we have a 4 dot. Let's say the west keeps going around, and I would let the 7 go. We have a hand in here with no gaps right there. 3, 6 dot, 6 crack, 9 crack. First hand under 3, 6, 9. Let's see here. 3, 6. If we get the 9 dot, we could maybe play that 5th hand down. So I would keep that 9 bam. Okay, there's a 6 dot. That's a keeper. And we have a pair we don't need, the north. We're at the optional. I would pass probably 2. And we might be able to get a joker out of that north. So we have 2 discards plus joker bait. Same result. Completely different process, completely different category, but we have a result that would make this particular player a contender because we have 2 discards with joker bait. And we have an option in here. This probably would go 3 discards with joker bait. I'd still say they're a contender because this is a hand of least resistance. It's not a power play though, because we're not streamlining, but we would be playing a hand of least resistance. We could, so for example here, pung the 3, kong the 6 dot, pung the 6 crack, or kong the 9, one or the other. That's why this is such a powerful hand shape and why I call it a hand of least resistance, because you can use any number of jokers, 2 pungs, 2 kongs. All you need to do is, of course, build the natural tiles if you can, and then jokers always help in these cases. Okay, so now shall we do another Charleston modeling, or do you guys want to play gameplay with commentary? Are we ready? You want to do one more Charleston modeling, or do you want to go right into gameplay? Okay, play. We'll play. So we're going to exit, and then we're going to go up to play with bots, and we're going to play with intermediate level. You can play with multiple levels here. Standard is a beginner, intermediate obviously is intermediate, and then you have advanced. So we're going to stay in the intermediate group here. So you want to try to, if you're brand new to the game, I would recommend playing the standard until you gain some confidence with decision making. And then when you're ready to push yourself, play with bots who are one level up from where you are. So if you're new to the game and you've gained a little bit of confidence, play at the intermediate level to push yourself. We'll stay at the intermediate level here. All right, so let's see what we get. Remember, optimize, maximize, streamline, simplify your decision making. So target multiples for crack. That's where we start. My eye is trained on targeting multiples, so it makes it a snap decision. I know whatever I play in here is going to use a 4. We also have a 9-band pair, so we need to compare 3, 4 to 6, 7, 8, 9, and look at the difference. We have far more 6, 7, 8, 9 than we do 3, 4. So in this case, the 4s will go and we'll focus on the bigger numbers. So when you have multiples that don't go together like this, maximize. We can use, we have way more tiles to choose from than that 4. And we could even streamline. We're targeting the 9-band. We're using most of our tiles, and we're in consecutive run. This would be a power play. The dragon, we may or may not be able to use. It would really only work for the concealed hand or the third hand down, so there's not a lot of options for us there. But here we have tiles we can pass. This is a little bit risky, but I think the risk is worth it because of what we have in our hand. We have a power play hand. We're targeting the multiple, we're using most of our tiles, and we're streamlining by playing consecutive run. So let's see how this goes. So just incidentally, we have 5 discards at the moment with options in our hand. We don't know what hand we're playing. You don't need to know what hand you're playing. You're on a need to know basis. You don't need to know what hand you're playing until you run out of discards. When you run out of discards, then you need to know, if that makes it easier for you. Okay, there's a 9-band and a 9 dot and a 5-band. So now we have 5 through 9, and I would let the dragon go. The only way we can use the dragon is if we have flowers, and we have no flowers. That's a gap hand. We don't want to play a gap hand. Try not to play a gap hand. Sometimes it happens, and that's okay, but it's not ideal. You want to try to play something where you have no gaps and few weaknesses. So we still don't know what hand we're playing. We're gathering. We got a 9 and a 7. We have 1 discard. So we have 1 discard after the first 3 passes. First round is done. Now is when we go to the hand level and we find 3 tiles or 2. We need 2 tiles to pass. So we would look at the hand level now. And by looking at the multiples, we have like numbers with 9s paired up. Pair and a pung, actually. So I would consider pung kong, hand of least resistance. This would be a loaded, fully loaded power play, actually. 6th hand down under consecutive run, 8, 9, 8, 9. We could also maybe play the first odd hand, 5 through 9, but we have an extra 9 and a single 5. So I would say that's probably not going to work. Therefore, what I would probably do in this case, Let's see. I think I would let the 5 go, the 8 dot, and that way I'm focused on 8, 9, 8, 9, targeting the multiples. That would be optimizing. That's the top tactic of the 3, optimize. And that's just because of the design of the game. It's just game theory in work. That's how this game is designed. Multiples. So you target the multiples and you're going to set yourself up for success. Okay, we got a 7 and we still have tiles we can pass here. We need to make a choice though. With 6, 7, 8, 9, we could do pung kong, second hand down. We have a 7 crack and an 8 bam, or an 8 crack, 7 crack pair, 8 crack pair. But it really, with a pung in your hand, you want to try to go with the heavier multiple, like this 9 bam pung. With a 7, 8 in cracks, we're not going to be able to use that 9 bam unless we get a 6 crack for 6, 7, 8, 9, let's say. So I probably wouldn't do that. I think what I would do in this case, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 9. I think I would probably let the 6 bam go because we could do 8, 9, 8, 9, no gaps. We can also do 7, 8 crack, 9 dot, 9 bam if we get flowers, but that's an if. That's a gap. We have no flowers. Really, this 6 bam is probably a better keeper than probably the 7, 8 because we have no flowers. We do have some like number potential with 9s, but we have no flowers. Since 6, 7, 8, 9 is the hand of least resistance, let's keep the 6 and we'll let the 9 go. Okay, no keepers at all. I would just let those go, even the dragon. Sometimes people might have that desire to keep dragons because they're cool, but no, they're not cool with this hand. Okay, 4 crack east south. Okay, now here I would not pass 2 wins because we're not far enough along in our hand development. I would probably let the 7 go. And this is where I wouldn't be focused on joker bait. I would rather pass fully and try to get another keeper out of this next pass, because then we have another pass. So we have up to 6 more tiles that we may be able to get into our hand. So this 7 becomes another discard. Okay, we don't have any keepers here, so we can pass fully. So maybe we'll do 1, 3. All right, now I would keep all consecutive tiles in our range. 5, really 5 through 9. 5 through 9. So we have some form of 5 through 9. We do have a couple of hands with no gaps and 2 discards. So 2 discards with options. I would say we're probably going to be a contender. Maybe, yeah, because we could do 8, 9, 8, 9 and use both multiples. That's probably what I would focus on. And that would mean, well, let's just pull it over so you can see clearly the discards. I usually like to keep all the tiles in suit and in order, but just for training purposes, here's 8, 9, 8, 9. 6th hand down under consecutive run, and that would mean playing a hand with no gaps. And it's targeting multiples, so we're optimized. It's not using most of our tiles though, so we're not maximized. We've got 7 discards, which would technically make us an underdog, but we've got lots of options. I would just start by discarding the 2 and see what develops, because we could even still play 6, 7, 8, 9 pung kong and use the 9 crack as joker bait. Probably this 5 is the discard, I would say, although we have 5, 7, 9 potential in here too. 5, 7 crack, 7 bam, 9 bam. All right, so let's let the 2 bam go. So we're probably going to be an underdog here. Oh, look at that. Okay, 2 jokers up for grabs. Okay, now here, 8 bam. So I would totally, well, we're going to let the 4 bam go. This 5, that can go. So we have 8, 9, 8, 9, no gaps. That's what I would focus on. We could still maybe do 6, 7, 8, 9. Most likely the 7 crack is a discard. So I'd say we have 2 hands and 3 discards. So we still don't know yet what we're playing, not yet, because we could play the second hand down in one suit, or we could play the 6th hand down, 8, 9, 8, 9. 3, 1. No, we don't want that red. Somebody kept it. So that'll be a good discard next. No, no keeper there. I mean, there's a joker over there. Okay, 6 is in our range, 6 through 9. We have 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. And okay. Oh, somebody got the joker. We can let that 2 go. Okay, we don't want wins. Okay, now that we need to Kong, and we're not ready, so we have to let it go. And I would still not pick a hand. I would just go with the flow. Flower exchange. Thank you. Okay. So now we need to make a choice here. 8, 9, 8, 9. We have no gaps. That is the first 8 crack. We could wait, but we're in the middle game now. 75 tiles remaining. When you hit that 80 tile mark, that's the the middle game starting. So we're like 1 pick into the middle game. I would like to expedite and take every opportunity to develop my hand quicker. So we're going to take it, and we're going to use the joker to pung, because we can pung the 8 bam and Kong the 9 bam. We need a joker for the 9 crack and 1 more good pick. So at this point, I would say we can call ourselves a contender, because now we have a hand with no gaps. We're targeting the multiples, so we're optimized, we're maximized at this stage, and then also we're streamlining. So now we're playing this fully loaded power play, because it's also a hand of least resistance, which is 2 pungs, 2 kongs. We can use any number of jokers, so it's relatively indestructible. 8 bam, that's a call. So let's let the 7 not go. 1. Okay, now I would love to get our, I was just going to say, I'd like to get our 8 crack back. So we have 2 discards, hand with no gaps. That's our tile. We're going to need 2 jokers now, but that's okay. Don't fret. Don't fret if you need jokers. It's okay. There are 8 of them, and players will be making exposures with jokers, so you could have that potential to do a joker exchange. So I'm not concerned. We're playing a hand of least resistance. So we want to stay vigilant, watch the exposures, and look for opportunities for a joker exchange. Don't 6. No. Okay, let's see. 7 dot is out 2 ways. 6 dot none are out yet. It's unseen on the table. There's a pure Kong over there. Pure exposures all the way around. We don't want to hold white dragons. Okay, 2 cards was already thrown. Now there's some jokers. 3. Goodness. There's only 1 available though, because there's a 1 crack out. So since there are 1 bams out, they likely have 1 dots. I don't see any 1 dots. Oh, Right, west. Okay, so we have 2 discards, and I don't remember how many tiles were remaining, but we did okay. Our tile went down before we were ready, but we just needed jokers. I was hoping to get the 1 crack over there. Here's a couple more jokers. So there were 5, there were 3, 5, 6, 7. There was 1 in the wall. All right, so let's start a new. Okay, targeting multiples. We have a flowers and we have 6s right here, 6 crack. So I'm seeing 3, 6, 9 in here again. Now the only hand that uses flowers like this would be the second hand down in mixed suits or 1 suit. Let's see, if we get 9 crack, we could maybe try the dragon hand, 4th hand down. And we do have tiles we can pass. So we're targeting the multiples. So we're optimizing and we're maximized. So we're doing 2 tactics right now. We got a 3-band. So now we have a 3-band pair with a 6 crack pair. So that means that we would be probably looking at the second hand down on the right. 3, 6, 9, pair 6 in the middle. We have a hand there with no gaps. So I would probably focus on that. 3-band, 6 crack, 9 dot. And we have tiles we can pass right there. So I give up the dragon at this point. We do have some potential for the 3, 6, 9 hand. Let's see, 3rd hand down, but we'd have to throw away a pung of flowers. I don't think I would do that, except now look what we have. 3, 6, 3, 6, 9. We have no gaps for that 3rd hand down. We have 3, 6, 3, 6, 9. You know what I would do here? Don't fall out of your seat. I would pass a flower, one flower, because we have a hand with no gaps. We have our pairs. We could pung 2 of these blocks for that 3rd hand down. All we need in here are jokers or 9 dots for that 9 dot. I would risk passing a flower here because of the way the hand developed. No keepers. And I would actually keep going just because of the way the hand is so fully developed. I would keep going. Although, wait, it's too late. We're going to do it. Okay, we got a keeper. So it was worth it. Oh my gosh, we gave them 2 flowers. That's crazy. We're going to do it again. 9 dot. We're looking for a 9 dot. Oh, we got a 9 bam. Let's pass 3. Look at this hand though. All we need are 9 dots. Okay, so we have 3 discards. We're a front runner on this one. 3 discards, hand with no gaps. We've got our pairs. We could pung the 3. We just need help with the 9. Okay, let's see here. So the player across from us discarded the flower, which is good. So we're going to pass. Okay, let's see. Let's discard the 8. We're looking at 3, 6, 9, 3rd hand down. Five dot pure Kong to the left. Let's see. Let's throw the 1. We're looking at 3. We need 9 dot. Okay, now where did that flower? That was the player on our left. The player on our left threw a flower. We gave them 2, so we can rest easy. No regrets. Okay, that's a pair for us, so we're going to let it go. Oh, shoot. That was our tile. Darn it. When you play at this site, you're going to be clicking ignore, 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 ignore. And so you're going to get that urge to keep clicking ignore. It's just something that happens. At least it happens to me. I pass tiles that I could actually call. And it's just something about this button, this ignore button. I needed that 3 band. So that was a mistake. But you'll see that if you make a mistake, you can recover. It's not a big deal. There's still another 3-ban. Nobody took that 3-ban. So if someone draws it, they'll discard it. We could even draw it, or we can use a joker. So try not to kick yourself if you make a mistake. It happens. Okay, so 7 can go. So that 8 crack can go now. We can throw 1 dot. Somebody got a Mahjong already. Okay, so news with dragons. They have a couple of jokers there. Look at these jokers in these hands. That's crazy. 4 jokers on the left, 1 joker on the right, and 2 across from us. We had none. That's kind of stinks. All right, well, anyway, we had a hand with no gaps and 3 discards. Now, if I had made the right choice on that 3-ban, we would have only had 2, but I made a mistake. So I think we did pretty good on that one, even though we didn't win. All right, here we go. Now, this is a good one. We have no multiples. No multiples. So this is where you look for the predominant pattern. We have a flower, a red dragon, 1, 4, 9 in bams, 2, 3, 4, 6 in cracks, 3, 4, 6, 9 in dots. So we can maybe play, let's see, I always like to look for the like numbers, because like numbers will tell you, or that basically would be multiples, or not multiples, it would be duplicates, I guess you could say. So we have 3 4s, we have all the 4s. Therefore, by focusing on the 4s with the supporting tiles, we would be able to use most of our tiles. That would maximize. So 2, 3, 4 of some kind. 2, 3, 4 of some kind. And that's because we have all the 4s. I would probably hold that dragon in case like numbers comes in. So 2, 3, 4, that leaves us with 5 discards. We do have some 3, 6, 9 in here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles versus 7. 3, 6, yeah, 7 tiles. So I think we're maximized by playing 2, 3, 4, and we're also streamlining. So we're using 2 tactics right now. We're maximized and we're streamlining. So let's pass the 1 with a 9 and a 6. We got a keeper, our first multiple. And that 2 crack with what we have is totally useful. So we're still in the same place, but now we have a power play because we're targeting the multiple, so we're optimized. We're using most of our tiles for the consecutive run category, so we're maximized, and we're streamlined because we're playing consecutive run. And we don't even know what hand we're playing yet. This should be a power play though anyway, because we're using all 3 tactics. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Don't pass 2 wins if you can't help it. Okay, we got 2 wins. So at this point, we need to make a choice. We have 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Our pairs with the 2. So I'd probably let the 4 go. The 4-man, let's say. I probably would not pass 2 wins. You know what I was just thinking? We could maybe even switch to the concealed news hand. We don't have a white dragon though. That would be a gap. We also don't have an east. With a 2, 3, 4 matching dragon, we have a hand in here with no gaps. 3rd hand down under consecutive run. 2, 3. I would not pass 2 4s. And the 3 dot, I would probably keep that because if we do happen to get a white dragon, we could maybe play a year hand. I think I would let probably a wind go. Maybe we could do north and south with a run. Something like that. Okay, there's another multiple. 4 crack. Here's a 6 crack. You might think, well, why not play 2, 4, 6, 8? We have no 8. That would be a gap. So that goes way down on the list. It's like a plan C. With 2, 3, 4, we have north and south. Let's see, with a 2, 4 crack, probably what I would do here is let the north and south go and keep going. 3, 4 north. There's a 6, and we have tiles we can pass. We're really hoping to get a 7 or an 8 crack, or I suppose a 5 crack would be nice. Okay, so we have 8, 9, and bams. We really don't need those. I would risk that. We have 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, there's a 9. Well, that's kind of looking pretty, but it's not really helpful. So we have 4 discards and 2 potential hands. We can do 2, 3, 4 Kongs. We could do maybe 2, 3 dragon. We've got options. If we get an 8 crack, we could do 2, 4, 6, 8 concealed. I would say we're an underdog though, because we still don't know what hand we're playing, and we have 4 discards. So we have more than 4 discards. We have some keepers in here. So I'd say we're probably an underdog until we can pick a hand. But I wouldn't pick a hand till we run out of these discards. Okay, so we're going to let the winds go. Don't you think, though, that this process, these 3 tactics, do you find that it helps simplify the process? Target multiples and optimize. Use most of your tiles and play a category that support the multiple, maximize, and then streamline. Don't you think that makes the decision making simple? That's the way it helps me anyway. When I'm looking at my tiles, I can make super quick decisions by thinking of those 3 tactics: optimize, maximize, streamline. Especially if you're in between, go with the power play, or go with one where you can use 2 of those tactics versus only one of the tactics if you're in between. I find it very helpful. Okay, now here's a 9 crack down. We could pung, but we don't even know what hand we're playing, so we're gonna let it go. Yeah, that would have been a nice keeper for us, maybe. We still don't know what hand we're playing, so we're just in gather mode. Now the 9 crack went down and nobody wanted it, but it's in the begin game, and the players didn't take it because maybe they're just not ready. So I would still hold this 9 crack pair for a little while. We might be able to still get a joker out of it. So we have a pure Kong in front of us. Another red dragon. I would try to use it. We still don't have to pick a hand though. So we have 2, 3, 4, 6. Maybe we could play a gap hand. If we can get a joker, we can dedicate that as an 8 crack. Oh, there is a joker exchange opportunity there. There goes the 8 crack, by the way. We got a joker. Okay, now we need to decide if we want to take that joker. You know what I would do here is I would not take it, because if we use this joker for an 8 crack, we have only 3 discards. Oh, wait, right here. We don't need this 3. We have 2 discards in joker bait that probably won't come through. With the red dragon pair, we have 2, 4, 6. I would wait on that. Let's see, 2, 4, 2, 3 dragon. I'm just thinking, do we want to take that joker? I don't think so. I think I would rather focus on the 3rd hand down under consecutive run, or maybe the concealed hand either under consecutive run or evens. There's 1 5 crack out. I would let it go. That means someone else will maybe get it. There goes another 5 crack. We may end up playing a gap hand. And that's okay. You just want to try not to make it happen often. Okay, now here, let's see. 3, 6, 9, the dragons are opposite. So really this 9 crack is not helpful with a 6 crack pung. So I would just let it go. I'd keep the 6 and let the 9 go. So we have 2, 3, 4, 6 at the moment. We still don't have to pick a hand. We're just going to keep gathering. We still have 1 discard. There goes another 8 crack. If we play the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, of course, we're going to need jokers for that. But we've got the 4, 6 paired up. We have really, the only thing we need in here would be that flower pair. We got the 8 crack. Well, that just makes it easier now. Let's put that 3 crack there. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8. Now it's got no gaps. And let's see, how many 8 cracks are out? I think there's 2. Yeah, 2. What I was thinking we could do on our next turn maybe is get that joker and play 2, 4, 6, 8 in the 1 suit. 3rd hand down. 8 joker. Somebody else got it, so we don't need to worry about it now. 8. So we're playing the evens concealed hand. What? We filled a gap. East. So these reds are keepers. Oop, there. We're looking for a flower. That red dragon is a pair for us. We don't want to keep that. So, oh, that's our tile, but we have a joker we can use there. We're looking for a flower. We need 1. Oh, we're looking for a flower and a joker. We need a joker too. Okay, now hold on a second. Let's reassess. We have 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. The 8s are down. We have 3 8 cracks out. So my thought is we would need 2 more jokers to help us with the 8. That 3 crack though is also out. And the 5s are also out. I was thinking maybe we could switch to consecutive run, but the tiles are already out. We're at 43 tiles remaining. This is really when you want to be ready to win. And we're kind of in a place where we're thinking of switching our hands. It's too late. The best time to switch your hand is around 70 tiles remaining. So we're about 8 picks late. I would not do that. I would stick with what we have or switch to defense. It'd be really nice if we could get a flower. We have 2 discards here, the 4 crack and the 6. You know what we could do though? Well, no, we still need jokers is the problem because the 8 cracks are down. But we do have potential for 2, 4, 6, 8, pung kong, and I would do it. I think it could pull this out for us. Apparently, no one wants the red dragon and the flowers. That's going to be a little bit risky. So if we're going to switch to the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand on 1 suit, 3rd hand down, we got to do it now. And I probably would. I would call for it, I think, because we still don't have that pair. And by playing a hand of least resistance, we can use any number of jokers and our hand is indestructible. So I think we need to Kong. And we'll let the flower go. So now we have a pair of reds. I don't think anybody wants them though. The 2 crack we can call. The 9 crack is out too. 6 6 Oh, they have 1 exposure out, the 1 band. They're playing 1, 2 dragon. But we ended up with 2 away. So I think we did okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. We did get a 6 in here, but that needs to be a pung. All right, let's play another game. All right, let's see now. We have 2 pair in here, 3 crack and a green dragon. So if we can find a way to use both of those, that would be ideal. So let's just start there. 3, 5, maybe little odds. Maybe we could do a 2, 3, 4, 5 or a year hand. Here's another dragon. Let's stop there because we do have tiles we can pass. So we're focused on the 3. We're targeting the 3. All right, we have another dragon and here's a 2. I'm thinking a year hand in here. I would let the 5 go. At the moment, this year hand is a gap hand. Okay, so now we have dragons and ones. 1, 3, 1 dot, 1, 2, 3, dragon. Okay, let's let the 1 go. We need to set ourselves up for a year hand. So we need 2, 3. We have a 2, 3 and bam. So probably what I would do is let the 1 and the 2 go. And then probably, as painful as it is, the 3 crack. We're playing a gap hand. Not ideal. This is not ideal. But we're going to see if we can do it. I think I would let the 8 dot go here. 1, 8 with a 4. Okay, we've got 5s. All right, now let's see. Here's a 3, 5. We have a dragons. That's the challenge, these dragons. 3, 5, probably that can go. I would probably keep the 3 and pass the 5 because we have 5, 7, and we're left with 3, 5. Okay, so now here's 2, 3. We have options. So 2, 3, and 2 suits with dragons. And we have tiles we can pass. All right, we've got tiles we can pass. All right, we're playing a gap hand. We do have a joker we can use for flowers, and there are 8 flowers. So it's not ideal, but it's okay. We might as well call it. I would call it. We have no gaps other than the flowers. Okay, so we have a ton of dragons. We need year tiles. So I'd say we're probably an underdog on this one because we have a gap. Here's a 3 dot. Might as well keep it. We've got discards. That's what we need. That's what we need. It's a little bit risky playing a year hand with no white dragon. 2 bam is out. 2 crack is out. There's a 2 bam. So now we can let these others go. All right, here we go. 8 dot. So we have our year number tiles. We need a white dragon in here, and we need flowers. Okay, so we can let let's see, look at all these 2s and 3s. We're good there. Oh, 7 can go. We're good. Oh no, there's only 1 more. Uh-oh, this is risky. White. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, now we just need jokers and flowers. There goes another flower. We got lucky with that 1 crack or that white dragon. We're good. We're looking for a flower. The statistics on this site say we get 1.6 flowers from the wall. We need 4 flowers. We're looking for a flower. We have no gaps though everywhere else. It looks really good. We just need the flowers. I have the hardest time getting flowers. I don't know why. Okay, we need a flower. Ooh, there's a couple of jokers right there. 5 band. They're not, those are up for grabs. Oh, somebody got it. There's still 1 more. Oh, oh shoot. Oh, dragon. Hey, we'd love to get that 5 bam there. Oh my gosh, they're throwing away the flowers. 1, 2, 3. That's the third one out. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We need a flower here. Come on. 8 crack. Okay, come on. Flower, please. Oh, you're kidding. All right. So we have a 2, 4, 6, 8 handle least resistance there. We just needed flowers. We have 2 discards and a gap, no flowers. It's a challenge. All right. Next. We have 6s and 8s, but we don't have any 2s and 4s. So you might immediately think, oh, let's play a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. No, we have 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 7, 9. We are optimized targeting multiples. We are maximized by using most of our tiles. We have 4 discards over here. We're also streamlined. So this is a power play. Let's see what we can do. No keepers. We got tiles we can pass there. We have pairs 6 crack 8 dot. So really that 5 is not helpful. It's isolated from our other tiles, really. We need 6, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. There we go. 7 bam, 6 dot, 9 crack. Now we have 1 discard and all 6 through 9. So now we make choices. We have 6, 7 crack, 8, 9, no gaps. 6, 7, 8, 9, no gaps. Second hand down in 2 suits. We also have a 7 bam pair. We could do 6, 7, 8 mixed suit Kongs. 5th hand down on the right. And that's probably what I would focus on. So either 6, 7, 8, 9, second hand down on the right, or the 5th hand down on the right. And then I would probably break out the 9s here. 9 crack with a 6 dot. 3, 6, 9. That's a little risky. But let's see here. Maybe pass the 9 with a 8. Let's see here. Yeah, I think so. Okay, no keepers. We can do, let's say, south 3 with a 6. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, now we have an 8 in here. Might as well keep it. 9 with a 4. That's not bad. Okay, no keepers here. We can do 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit risky here. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. We've got 2, let's see, 6 crack, 7 bam, 8 dot, no gaps. 5th hand down on the right, or 6, 7 crack, 8, 9 dot, second hand down on the right. I think I would probably mitigate the risk here and let the 8 crack go, pass 1 of each suit. Okay, now we did get the 8 crack back. We could keep it, I suppose, and still pass 3. And I would pass 1, 2. Oh, we got keepers. Oh my goodness, look. 6, 7 crack, 8, 9 dot, no gaps. Right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, no gaps. And that would use 4 multiples, and we can use the 7 bam as joker bait. So we have 4 discards plus joker bait. I would say we are a contender for this one. We can pung the 6 and the 8. We just need help with the 7 and the 9. Pung kong, handle least resistance. So at the moment, we have a fully loaded power play. Let's see how it goes. It's not a guarantee. It's not a guaranteed win. So it just helps manage expectations, and I'm expecting to win. 8. That's my expectation, that we're going to win. 1. It's not a guarantee. It's an expectation. 3. Okay, we don't need that. We want to try to get this pair of 7s to 60 tiles. Okay, let's let the 3. Okay, 4 dot can go. Oh, joker's up for grabs. Wow. Oh, darn. Somebody got it already. Jeez. Save some for the rest of us. Oh, we're building, we're building. 6, 7, 8, 9, pung con. Second hand down on the right. Oh, someone got the other joker. Oh, there's a couple jokers up for grabs. Okay, we're at 63 tiles. We can let the 7 bam go. Oh my goodness, what about us? Nobody wanted the 7. Oh goodness. Nope, we're looking for 6, 7 crack. 6 crack, 8 dot are the 2 we can call. Nope. Oh, really? What is going on? Why don't we get to have any goodies, shiny things? Okay, so we can pung the 6 and the 8. We can even Kong the 7. We need one good pick for this 9 dot. Okay. Oh, shucks. We have some good potential on this one. All right, so 369 knitted right there. We just have not had jokers to help. Jokers do help, I must say. We're just not getting them. Okay, now here we have a joker and a 4 bam pair. So that's where we start. 4 bam pair. All right, now 4 bam pair. We have 2, 3, 4, maybe of some kind. 2, 3, 4 is probably what I would do. Although we do have some wind potential here. We have no 6, so I would not play 2, 4, 6, 8. I think what I would do is probably look at the news concealed hand and let that dragon go. Oh, 7s. Yikes. No, we don't want that. If we do news concealed, we do not need 2s. Okay, here's a 5. That's an option. 7 can go, green and 1 can go. Really, this 2 crack is, or 2 bam is not doing us any good. Okay, now here's a 5. I suppose we can try to hold some kind of consecutive run option here. We're trying to see if we can get wins, but we're not getting wins. We don't need the 5 bam. Oop, oop, oop. Wait, we have a keeper out there. 5 crack. Okay, here we go. 4, 5. So now we can let the 5 bam and let's say 3 crack, I guess. All right. So now 8, let's say 1, maybe we keep the 3. We could do 3, 4, 5, 6 if this news hand doesn't come in. Okay, so we have 3, 8, 9. These are not helpful at all. Somebody's keeping wins. Oh, look, we got a nice keeper there. All right, so I would probably let that go. We have 4 discards and a hand with no gaps. News concealed. I would say we're a contender. We have 4 discards. Wow. Oh my goodness, a flower. We've got a flower. I would maybe think about playing news now. All wins. There's an east. We could maybe use the 4, 5 as joker bait now that we have this pair of flowers. And even with that switch, I'd say we'd be an underdog with that switch. Okay, let's just see if we get more wins. We could pung the west, but that's about it. I wouldn't take it. I would wait. There's a south now. I would switch to news with flowers, but I wouldn't take that flower. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. All right, let's calm. All right, now we'll let the 4 go. We're gonna switch to the news hand. We have joker bait and 1 discard. We're at 80 tiles. I would say we're a front runner. We switched to a front runner because we're just entering the middle game and we have 1 discard with joker bait. So I think that is close enough to call us a front runner. We have a hand with no gaps. We need 1 good pick for the west and maybe a flower or a joker. So I think we're in pretty good shape. I would say we're a front runner. And this player to the left needs this 5. We want to give them time to get it, to get set up. Okay, ignore. Oh, they're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. Never mind. Okay. Oh, I would love to get that red dragon or maybe our south. Okay, well, that's a keeper. There's still 1 more west. No, joker bait didn't work. 57 tiles. It's that sweet spot for joker bait. Flower. Awesome. We're set now and we're still in the middle game. This is an ideal pace. If you can be ready to win by the end of the 3rd wall, that is ideal. And we're 1 away from there. 40 tiles remaining is the end game. So actually 41 tiles is the last tile of the middle game. Oh, look how close we got. Oh my goodness. And these robots, they are getting lots of jokers. What is the deal with that? All right, let's play again. I'll stop complaining. Okay, now we have a pair of Wests. It's going to be challenging. Let's see, predominant pattern with number tiles. When you have a start like this, if you get a pair of winds that is weak like this, we only have 1 other wind. You want to look at the rest of your tiles and pick a plan B. And whatever the predominant pattern is, go with that. I would say because we have 2 5s and 2 2s, I would do 2 3 4 5. And therefore that would reveal what tiles you can pass. So 2 3 4 5, maybe winds and dragons, and that gives us our pass. We have 1 2 3. We do have 1 2 3 here. Maybe the dragon can go. So we have 1 through 5 as plan B. Here's our first multiple. We have 2 1s and 5s. So I would just totally refocus, reassess. 1 dot, 5 dot. We could play 1 through 5, but we have a gap, no 4. I would let the winds go at this point. And then maybe this 2 bam. Focus on the dots. Here's a 6. I would hold it. 7 can go. Let's see. We have 1 2 3 5 4 5. 1 2 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. We can let the west go, and then we need to let something else go in here. 4 5, the 6 probably. Really, the 1 dot and the 5 dot, the only way to use that would be the first hand under consecutive run. We need a 4 dot. Here's a 4 5 now. 4 5 in bams. We have tiles to pass. Okay, here's 3 4. We have a lot of 1 through. Okay, now here we have to decide. We have 1 through 5. 1 2 dot 3 4 bam. That would use 2 multiples right here. That would be a hand with no gaps. 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 bam. We have a hand with a gap, 5 dot, we have no 4. Because of that, I would probably let the 5 bam go as opposed to passing 2 wins. Yeah. Oh, here's a 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4. There's a pair of West. I'd probably let this 2 go. That's a little bit risky. Okay, we can pass 3. Seems like nobody wants wins. Okay, so we have 4 discards and 1 through 4. We don't know yet what hand we're playing. We do have a hand in here with no gaps, but it's weak. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 suits. Second hand down on the right. This would be a power play, but it's weak at the moment. We have no gaps there, but it'd be nice if we can build. Okay, that's helpful. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 bam. 5 dot would be the joker bait, maybe. Unless we get a 4 dot. But now, look, there's a 4 dot there. I would totally give up on these 5s. And I would focus on 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe see if we can get a joker out of that. Okay, so second hand down on the right. We have 4 discards plus a pair. So 6 discards. We're an underdog. At least we know what hand we're. Okay, 5 crack. 3, 4, 5. Okay, we do have something that showed up here. 1, 2, 3, single pair pung, Kong 4, bam, Kong 5 crack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fourth hand down under consecutive run. There's potential there, but we'd have to throw away a 1 dot. White dragon, no. Although if we get a flower, oh, there goes the 5 dot. Nobody wanted it, so that has no power. I was just thinking if we get a flower, we could do 1, 3, 5 dragon. But you know how it is with flowers. 2 dot, that would be a keeper. I would let this white dragon go. That would be a Kong for us. We are playing a hand of least resistance and we have no gaps, so I would call. We would Kong. Okay, so 1, 2 dot, 3 bam, 4 bam. 1, 2, 3, 4 pung Kong. Second hand down on the right. So this 5 crack is a discard. 5 dot, nobody wants. So now they need this 3 dot here. We're going to discard that now. We're not even in the, we're like just 2 or 3 picks into the middle game. This player on the left needs a 3 dot. I'm going to get it out now because I'm thinking they're not going to be ready yet. My hope. That's my hope. Right. Because I don't think they need a 5 dot. We need to let these go next. Neither. So we need to continue letting these go. Oh my goodness. We're sabotaging. We're sabotaging their hand. Joker swap. Okay, there's still 1 joker available there. Oh, this is a keeper. I almost discarded that 3 bam. Okay, dragon. We don't want to keep that. We don't want to hold a flower. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3 flowers out, 4 flowers out. They need 2. And their 3s and 5s are down. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 dots are out, and there's 1, 2, 5 dots out. So they need lots of jokers. Uh-oh. Wait, what just happened? Wait a minute. My computer just glitched on me here. What in the world? And we have a joker potential here. What happened? What happened to the game? Am I still on with you guys? What in the world just happened to my game? I don't even know what to do here. Let's see. How, reload. No. It just nerfed our game. We got nerfed. I was just going to do a joker exchange. We had a good potential for that one. I don't know what happened just now. Everything went black. Doggone it. All right, we're starting over apparently. Okay, so we have a pung of flowers. I don't know what happened there. That was very weird. Okay, so we have 7 dot pair. Here's a dragon and a 9. We have 7, 8, 9. That's where I would start. Flowers, 7s, 9s. There's an 8, 7, 8 dragon. 7, 8 dragon. Here's a 9 crack. We have to make a choice. This is when you pick a hand, because otherwise with those 2 discards, we have all keepers. I would not pass the flower. We actually have a hand in here. We have 2, 7, 8 dragon, pair 9 joker bait, or we could do 7, 8, 7, 8. We'd have to throw away all those flowers. I wouldn't do that. We could also do 7, 8, 9 mixed suit Kongs. So I would let that 7 bam go. Okay, and there's a 9 dot. Here's 5, 7, 9 dragon. We're going to keep going. I would pass the 1, the 8, because now we have 7, 8, 9. We have 5, 7, 9 dragon. 5, 7, 9 dragon, 4th hand down on the right. Let's see. Probably what I would do is let the 9 crack go. Let's see. 7, 5, 7, 9. I would let the 9 crack go. All right. So now here we go. West. Let's give the 9 to another person. Okay, there's a 5. So 5, 7, 9 dragon looks really good. Okay, we have 3. I just think the discarding is super easy with these tactics, the strategy. Power play strategy is what we could call it. Although it's not always a power play is the thing. Okay, we only need a pair, so we're going to ignore that. And we could probably optimize for joker exchange here by holding number tiles. So I would probably let the flower go. It looks like nobody wants flowers. No. Here's a joker up for grabs. Okay, now we need a pair. So that's going to be a challenge for us getting that pair. Now we can pung the 5 or the 9. No. Oh, there we go. All right. It did it again. Why is it doing that? What the heck? Wait, what? It did it again. Are you kidding me? Again? And now it's going to start us all over again. And look, we have a little weird thingy here. What is going on? Can you guys hear me? Test, test. My internet kept going in and out. We lost like 3 games because, hold on. Okay, it looks like I'm back. What a mess. Technology. Gremlins. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we got in some good games, even though we didn't win. There was a lot to be learned. And you can see how to make quick decisions with these 3 tactics: optimize, maximize, and streamline. Can you guys hear me? Let me just see. Okay, I can hear myself. Are you guys with me? Is anybody in here? Am I all by myself? Hello, hello. Say hi in chat. I wonder what this is going to look like. Oh my goodness. Oh, we had gremlins. I might have to edit that video. All right, gremlins. I need to put a gremlins pop-up on the screen. Can you guys hear me? We're at the top of the hour, so that's it for the live stream. But I hope that you found it helpful, just the same. So, critical thinking, 3 tactics to simplify Charleston decision making. If you missed the presentation, that's intact at the beginning of this session. So when this live stream ends, watch the repost. And then you can learn about optimize, maximize, and streamline for a power play. And then there's what I'm calling a fully loaded power play, where you play hand of least resistance in there as well. Pung Kong, hand of least resistance, or a loaded power play, which would be a hand of slight resistance, where you have a pair and 3 Kongs. So it's an interesting way to approach the game. I hope that you use these tactics and tell me what you think about it. My goal is that it simplifies decision making. And if it does that for you, let me know. And I will just double check and see if anybody can hear me or see me. I'm just going to sign off, I guess, because I don't think anybody can hear me or see me. Well, except for you, because you're watching the repost. So, thank you for watching my videos and for sharing about MAHJLIFE. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.